What is a refret? What happens in a refret? Who wins in a race at most tavern? The washer or the dryer? All of these are fantastic questions.
Yo, you stupid dryer.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Eads here. So, my name is Tim. I'm the founder of Eads Instruments, and today we are going to be talking about a refret. This is a two-part series. So, the main specimen today is like a 1970s, 60s, 70s Kingston. This is probably something they could have gotten it serious. Before I start the video, though, smash that like button and subscribe button so you can get more cool stuff like this. So, let's continue on. So, this guitar came into me. This is actually owned by a coworker of mine, and the story is he helped his neighbor clear out and helped her move, and she had this guitar, so more than likely it was either like an ex-husband's or something, and he just left it there. So, yeah, that's the story behind it. And then it came into my shop like 20 years later. And so, let's take a look. There's not much life left on these things. So, we're going to give it a refret, which means that we're going to add all new fretwire to this guitar. What is a refret is all new fretwire on a guitar. Now, what should happen in a refret? We're going to, how the order of operations is, we're going to remove these fret wires, and we're going to try to do it as cleanly as possible. So we're going to use a soldering iron to heat up the metal, so it will soften up on the inside, so we can then pull them out. We're looking to take out as little material on the inside as possible, because what happens when you pull them out, a little bit of tear out will probably happen, which means that the wood's going to probably split. So we're looking to have that not happen, or try to alleviate that to where it's happening less. Secondly, after we pull out the fret wire, what we need to do, we need to take a radius block or a radius. Some people use radius beams, but I use radius blocks, which means we're going to create a radius, a fresh new radius for the fretboard. What happens if you just pull them out and then you basically just replace the fret wire and keep the radius in? That is a dumb idea. Ask me now. Ask me how I know. Go ahead. Ask me how I know.
Okay, you see what he did? He French fried when he should have pizzaed. You French fry when you pizza, you're gonna have a bad time.
So if I was to just take out the fret wire and then insert new ones without giving this a radius, what's going to happen? And I know this from personal experience because I've done it twice. You take out the fret wire, you don't do the radius, and you just try to install them and you try to glue them. You have to basically try to force the fret wire down, and it's not going to seat correctly in the fret slot. So there's going to be gaps pretty much throughout the entire fretboard. That's exactly what we do not want. So we're going to avoid that. We are going to give it a fresh radius. It needs a fresh radius no matter what, no matter the circumstances. Every time you do a refret, it needs a fresh radius. There's no questions, ifs, ands, or buts. So now that you understand what happens in the job of a refret, we need to understand two things. I mean, it kind of doesn't matter on the back end, but it matters if you want to maintain OEM, which is original manufacturing's radius. You'll need a set of radius gauges to understand the radius of the fretboard. There's two types of radiuses. There's a straight radius, which it means that it's one particular dimension the entire way through. The second type is a compound radius, which means that it's going to be a tighter, like a 9, 10, 12 inch pattern on the top, and then it expands from a tight, and then it starts to open up. I've seen there are some people that done it the opposite way, where it's tight and then it loosens up here, but it's kind of uncommon, or kind of rare. So a compound radius is, yeah, basically where if this is going to be a 10-inch, which is a little bit tighter, this is going to be a little bit more loose, like a 16 or a 14. So if this is going to be a compound radius, we need to understand what radius is at the 12th fret. So when we understand what radius is at the 12th fret, that needs to match the radius that is at the bridge. So what we will need for this operation is a set of radius gauges. They look like this. These are the understring ones. There's overstring ones as well. When I started out being a luthier, these were the ones that came with it. So you need to understand when we know what the radius is at the top, and we know the radius and then we'll know what the radius is at the bottom, then we'll have to measure the radius at the bridge. Side note, we do have one particular thing that we need to do to this guitar. We need to push the bridge back. Before I received this, I did the measurement for intonation, and the scale length is off on this guitar. So no matter how much work I do, even when I put in new frets, it's still going to be out of tune. So I have to push this bridge back so it will stay in tune. Let's roll. So 10-inch radius. Put that right there. That was the bridge. So what we're looking for right there. Oh, we're trying to see. It's kind of hard to see it from there, from that angle, but that basically is it. It's the 10-inch radius. Now we're going to check the measure of the 12th. Same. And at the heel, it's the same. Let's measure the bridge piece. Now that's kind of funky. There's some air right there. So the bridge never matched. The bridge never matched the fretboard. So I'm going to go the 12. See if that matches up. So that is a perfect match. So this guitar from the factory it's kind of fucking goofy because it needed to, if it was going to be a straight radius, it should have been a 12-inch, not a 10. So it should have been a more open pattern and not a tighter pattern. So I'm going to convert this from a 10 to a 12 so it matches the bridge. Next phase of the operation. So now that we know the math, we know that we want the radius to be 12-inch straight. I'm not going to go compound. Now's the time to pull out the frets. So what I have is the StewMac Deluxe fret pullers. I have a little like 0.010 like wedge or shim. So that's going to help protect. As I pull out the Fretwire, it's going to help protect the wood underneath. And then I also have a Weller soldering iron. As stated before, we're going to use a soldering iron to heat up the metal. And once we start seeing it bubble on the top, we're going to then pull out the Fretwire. Just so everybody's on the same page, I'm going to link all of the tools here in my Amazon shop below in this video, so you guys can get it while it's hot. Literally. well, so I have to revert from my original plane, and this thing, the Fretwire is so thin that I can't even get my deluxe pliers underneath it. So I have to punch it out of the side. This is gonna suck. Luckily I've done this before, so I know what to expect. But yeah, this is no fun. So yeah, we gotta punch it out sideways versus pulling them out. So let's fucking do it. Well, that was fun. The first section of that fretboard. Whew, dude, that was gnarly. I've never seen anything worse than that. My deluxe grippers couldn't even get underneath it. It was so indented into the wood. Eventually got it out. Got them all out. Everything underneath the 7th fret was a little bit easier. It had a little bit more on the edges. So, another question that you might be asking yourself, does my guitar or bass need to be refretted? The answer to that is not as cut and dry as you might think. But the way that I would explain that answer to you is, if you're starting to see divots in your Fretwire when the strings are off, and those divots are so low that the guitar strings are causing divots inside of the fretboard, it might be time for a refret. Don't even get me started on the Les Paul fretless wonders.
Now, there's 2 exceptions, and it gets kind of
Oh, you can stay, but I'm leaving.
Yellow if they're using late season apples. And of course, in Canada, the whole thing's flip-flop.
Don't forget to like and sub to the channel. Got more coming. So if you like this, there's plenty more where that came from.